ביאור משנה ט'. Next thing. המביא get. Oh, we're going to start getting now. Somebody who brings, no, we're not going to start getting. Somebody who brings a get, a divorce paper. ששלח הבעל לאשתו, a divorce paper, the husband sent to his wife. ממדינת הים, from overseas. Just before we continue, I just need to explain a little bit. The courts overseas were less trusted than the courts in Israel. Yeah? So if you bring something from the courts overseas, a document, it wasn't so strong as a document from the land of Israel. A document from the land of Israel, they trusted. A document from overseas, they don't trust it. So why did they trust this document? Because he brought this document, the guy brought this document, ממדינה רחוקה שחוץ, ואמר, and he says, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. He says, in front of me this get was written, and in front of me this get was signed. Now, what is it important? Because they suspected the getting in the land outside of Israel. There's a rule when you write a get that it has to be written for that woman. The get has to be written specifically for her. In other words, the sefer has to have her in mind when he writes it. He cannot prepare it beforehand and then just fill in the names afterwards. Yeah? He has to have her in mind. So this is why the guy is coming from Medinat Hayam. He's coming from overseas. He says, it was written in front of me. In other words, I am aware that it was written for the good reason, and it was also signed in front of me, because the witnesses are not here. You don't have to witness it.
That's the witness then.
Yeah, but over here.
Witnesses.
Yeah, but again, he's one witness.
Yeah.
He's one witness. Forget paid off. That's the reason why in Judaism we need two witnesses for everything. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Forget the paid off part. Even two witnesses can be paid off if you go to that logic. You can go there. Yeah. But in other words, so in action, if you want to have the woman be able to get married to somebody else now, you actually need the two witnesses over here. Or at least a document that is recognized. Over here you bring a weak document from overseas. It has a weakness in it. But because this guy says, I was aware and I'm aware of the witnesses, but he's still one guy, we're going to trust him now. He's going to be trustworthy. Him and the document together, we're going to put it together as she can get married now. This is a good divorce, she can get married. Sheken Shanu, let's see. Shanu, in Gittin, we're going to learn this all in Gittin, when we're going to get into Gittin. They said this in Gittin, Hamavi get minat hayam, somebody who brings a divorce paper from overseas, tzarich sheyomar, he cannot just bring a document and that's it, we're going to trust them. We don't know the witnesses, Moshe and Aaron, who are them? I don't know, Moshe and Aaron in New York, I don't know them. Or Moshe and Aaron in Eretz Israel, Moshe and Aaron. And even if I don't know them, I will know someone who knows them. Are they kosher people? Are they not kosher people? I will at least be able to find something about them. In New York, how would I know? So therefore he needs to say, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. In other words, he needs to give legitimacy to the power of the get. Let's start again after בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. שכן שנו, that we taught, המביא get מילת הים, somebody who brings a get from overseas, היה צריך שיאמר, it was necessary for him to say, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. In front of me it was written, in front of me it was signed. השליח צריך לומר בבית הדין, the שליח needs to say in front of the court, קודם מסירת הגט, before he gives the get, בפניי נכתב הגט, בפניי חתמו עליו העדים. In front of me it was written, in front of me they signed. ושני טעמים נאמרו בגמרא על כך. We're going to learn in Gittim, there's two reasons why he needs to do that. רבא אמר, Rabbi says what I told you before. לפי שאין בקיאים לשמה. Because in those people overseas, they were not so knowledgeable about the rules that it has to be written specifically for her. שאין בני מדינת הים בקיאים בהלכה, because the courts overseas did not know the halacha, שצריך לכתוב את הגט לשם האישה. When you write the get, it needs to be written for the sake of the woman המתגרשת, that gets divorced. לפיכך תקנו חכמים שאומר השליח, this is why the sage says that the שליח, that the messenger has to say, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. In front of me it was written, in front of me it was signed. וזה יביא לידי בירור, and now we're going to find out if this get is a legitimate get or not a legitimate get. אם הגט נכתב ונחתם כדינו, if this get is legitimate or not. Or, that's one opinion. There's another opinion. The other opinion is שבאמירתו זה מעיד that when the messenger says this statement, he is a witness שנכתב ונחתם הגט לשמה. That this get was written and signed for her. Rabba Amar, Rava says, we have Rabba with a hey and Rabba with an aleph, two Rabbas. Yeah? Rabba Amar, לפי שאין עדים מצויים לקיימו. It says it's not so much they don't know the rules, but because we don't, it's not there for the sake of the get, of the written part. He's there to be a witness for the witnesses. Because the witnesses are not here. That's why we need him. So two opinions. Why we need him to say the statement because we're not sure the document itself was written for the right reason. And the second opinion is no, not for that we need him. We need him to be there to tell us that the witnesses were kosher. That's what we hear. Two opinions. כלומר שלדעת רבא אין חוששים לפסול בגט. According to Rava, the second opinion, we're not worried that the document itself wasn't written for her. No? They know the rules. אלא חוששים, but we are worried, שמא יבוא הבעל ממידת הים, we are worried that 10 years from now, the guy is going to come back from overseas, ויערער על הגט שהוא מזויף, and he's going to say on the get, Moshe and Aaron? Who's Moshe and Aaron? I don't know Moshe and Aaron. Now this guy tells you, yeah, I was there was a Moshe, and there was an Aaron, they were kosher people, and they signed. Now he cannot come and say 10 years later, I don't know what this get is. No. וההלכה היא בכגון זה שיש לקיים את הגט בחותמיו. And then we have to say, go get Moshe and Aaron from New York. You know, today it's easy. You get a phone call. זהו. At those time, Moshe and Aaron from another country, it's a whole...
But I don't understand one thing. This witness he come to Eretz Israel. He had to write the get. He had to write it and to sign it too, that he was witness that
he's not writing the get. He just witnessed that the get was written and the get was signed.
Okay, he's like witness.
Yeah.
Let's say that he's just a witness. He come from New York, he take a plane, he come, land in Israel, show it the court, Oh, מצוין, very nice, very nice. After a week, he go back, go to Honolulu. The guy come after a year, he say, hey, man, it's not good, it's not good. How can you find this witness? He's in Honolulu now.
It doesn't matter. Once he gave a statement in court, he gave a statement in court. A statement that you give in court binds, is a binding statement.
So you don't have to go and find this guy
no.
bring him down?
No. Okay. You do have to get the witnesses though. The witnesses are important.
But the witnesses are in Chutzland.
That's why you need him to say that they're kosher witnesses.
So it's, in a way there is three witnesses here. The two
yeah.
is in a way, and one
and he that they're kosher. He that it actually happened. He gives it the strength. That's right. They give the strength. Okay. וההלכה היא בכיוון זה שיש לקיים את הגט בחותמיו. And therefore, Rava says you need to therefore have a witness to the witnesses.
He's a notary.
Yeah, like a notary public. Excellent. It's a notary of today. שאם העדים החתומים על הגט או אחרים, that if the witnesses who are signed on the gate או אחרים or other, המכירים את חתימותיהם, somebody who recognized, this is a famous guys, מאשרים את זהותם של החתימות. They say it was a kosher document. הרי הגט קיים, then it's a kosher get. וערעורו של הבעל אינו ערעור. And the husband comes now and says, I didn't give it. He says, too late. We have a notary public that you gave it. It's like a guy today, after the notary public says that you gave your house or your car, you know, on the title. Too late. You can say whatever you want. There's a notary public. Yeah, you're done. אבל בגט שהובא ממדינת הים אין עדים מצויים בארץ ישראל. But if the get that came from overseas, the witnesses are not found in the land of Israel, שיקיימו את חתימות העדים שבגט, that can sustain, that can say, these are two kosher, yeah, we recognize these signatures. ואם יבוא הבעל ויערער, לא תהיה תקנה לאישה לקיים את גיתה. לפיכך תקנו חכמים שומר שליח. Therefore, because of this problem, otherwise, without the guy saying, I was there for the witnesses, the husband can come and they say, there's no Moshe and Aaron. Now, nobody in Israel knows Moshe and Aaron. There's no gushpanka to it. So it's exactly like what he said. It's a notary public. That's right. They don't have a notary. He is the notary public. So he says, בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. He says, in front of me it was written, in front of me it was sealed. והאמיnuhu. The truth is, we shouldn't trust him, because he's one witness. But the document and him together, he makes the document trustworthy. Let's make it this way. והאמינו כשני עדים המקיימים את הגט. And because he made the document good, now we trust him. ושוב אין הבעל יכול לערער. And now the husband cannot come later on and mess the whole thing up. זהו ששנינו במשנתנו. This is right that we said in the Mishnah, המביא גט מנת הים, somebody who brings a get from overseas, ואמר בפניי נכתב ובפניי נחתם. And he says, in front of me it was written, in front of him it was. So this guy that came now, just make the divorce, he's not allowed to marry that woman that got divorced. Because we trust him for the divorce paper, but we don't trust him. Anybody else can marry her, you not. We don't trust you to get married to her. לא יישא את אשתו. You're not allowed to marry the divorcina של המגרש. שהואיל וסומכים על דיבורו, since he's the cause for the divorce, יחשדו בו, again, if I'm trustworthy, I'm trustworthy. But people are going to talk. Just because people are talking, that's it, you're not allowed to. And like, why? Like Mishlei said before, don't bring people to talk about you.
No, it could be that he's lying. He wants to marry this woman.
Any notary public.
So he come and he say, he divorced her. No?
That's why we don't. Yeah, but it can be in anything.
Like Kohen Gadol cannot marry Almana. Why? Because he go Kodesh Kodashim and he pray that her husband died and she married her.
Yeah, but just having when you say could be, everything could be. Everything could be a lie. Once it's been established, it's very strange. The only reason I think that over here you're not allowed to, it's not from the Torah. Should be allowed to. And there's no problem. If you trust me, you trust me. If you don't trust me, you don't trust me.
Conflict of interest.
Not really a conflict. Even if there's a conflict, you should be able to marry. The problem I think over here is not because of conflict of interest. It's because people are going to talk afterwards. And the Mishlei says, don't make people talk. That's it. I think that's the reason. Yeah? Yachshedu bo, again, people are going to be suspecting, not that he did. People are talk. People love to talk. There's going to be gossip. Don't create gossip. That's the idea. That's the idea. You're creating gossip. Even if you're 100% correct, you're allowed to. Everything is kosher. People will talk. Yachshedu bo, people are going to start talking. This guy is a liar. He brought the document by himself because he wanted to get married to her. כדי שיוכל להסניה. Okay. Met. Now comes a case that he didn't come and say that he didn't come with a divorce paper. He came and said her husband died. Me and her husband were in New York. Yeah. He went up to the Twin Towers of 9/11 and he's dead. No more here. I was a witness. He went up to the towers, gone. Met. I think it's more than that. He needs to see the body. Yeah, to say dead, you need to see the body. But that doesn't matter. The case is, he's making a statement. The guy is dead. Met. כלומר, מי שהעיד על אדם שמת. Somebody who said on a person, he died. או שאמר, or even further, he says, I killed him. He says, הרגתיו, I killed him. Or, yeah, he says, I killed him. Or he says, Harganuhu. Or we were in a bunch of people, we had a fight, and there was a fight, and one of us killed him. Everybody punched him, and then he died. Yeah? Ani ve'acherim imi, me and others with me. שבחרגון זה, in such a case, אשתו של אותו אדם מותרת להינשא. In such case, she's allowed to get married. Why? You don't need two witnesses? He says, no, when it comes to these cases, שמסיעין אישה על פי עד אחד, we're going to learn it later on, that because you don't want to leave a woman without the ability to ever get married again, an aguna, as we're going to say, the Rabbi is established, we can get, she can go out to the market if there's one witness who says that their husband is dead. By the way, this is the reason why we marry according to the rabbis and not according to the Torah. Because if we would be marrying today according to the Torah rules, then one witness would not be enough. You would need two witnesses. That's what the rabbis tell you, you're getting married according to our opinion when you're getting married. Because that now they have the power, that they have the power now to do. Otherwise they will need two witnesses from the Torah to establish that the guy is dead.
If you don't, then she stays.
That's right, she can never get married. So in such a case, lo isa et ishto, he comes, again, it's the same thing as the messenger. Just like the messenger comes and he says, she's divorced, this guy comes and he says from overseas, and he says he died, we don't trust him again. Why? Yachshadu. Again, the problem is, people will talk.
Suspicious.
Asur le'ed lisa et ishto, the witness is not allowed to marry the wife, Matam shebe'anu la'il, from the same reason, people are going to start talking. Shu'il v'niset al pi uduto, since she is married according to his witnessing, chosheshim shema yomru she'id edut sheker kedei she'isena. We're worried about this guy's lied only because he wants to marry. That's why people will talk. Says, why do you care people will talk? We care. We care people talk. We don't want people to talk.
And they're not going to stop talking.
Yeah.
After 5 years, they said, you see, now
Yeah.
you see.
And now the-
and he killed him, and he went now, and look, then now
Yeah.
we have a grandkid or whatever.
That's it will never end. It will never end. Exactly. So this is how careful you have to be.
Yeah.
Rabbi Yehuda says, I don't understand you guys. Your Mishnah, what you're saying is nonsense. Cannot be. Why? Haraktiv? I killed him? If the guy says I killed him, then he's a what? He's a Rasha. And a Rasha cannot do testimony. What are you talking about? We don't take testimony of a person who's a Rasha. I don't even understand the Mishnah. So Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Haragtiv, im amar ha'ed haragtiv, if the witness says, I killed him, lo tinaseh ishto. He says, he's not a kosher witness. She can never get, she's not allowed, she cannot get married to anybody else. That's it, she's stuck. How did you accept his witness? How did you accept such a witness that says, I'm a killer? In other words, the witness in his statement is saying, I'm not a kosher witness. You can't do that. Afilu le'acher, it says she's never allowed to get married. Not only to him, she's not allowed to get married. She's never allowed to get married even to somebody else. Mipnei shu rasha. This guy is an evil person. Ve'eino ra'ui la'id, and an evil person cannot give testimony. We don't believe him. You're a liar, you're a thief, you're a murderer, you're not trustworthy. Shene'emar, how do we know this? There's a verse. It says, Al tashet yadcha im rasha. It says, if you don't get together with an evil person, liot ed chamas, to be a witness about a false testimony. Yeah? So we see that evil people are not allowed to testify. Vedarshu al tashet rasha ed. So it says, don't listen to a guy who's in Rasha, don't accept his testimony. Okay. Harganuhu, but if he says we killed him, then you can take the testimony. Why? Aval im amar harganuhu, but if he say we killed him, shemashma milishono zod, that it sounds from this kind of language, ha'iti murgav, I was in the group that killed him. Not me. I wasn't. Like, like in the bank robbers. I wasn't the guy who shot the guy. I just came. I was together with the guy. Yeah, I'm the one who carried the money, or I'm the one who drove the car, whatever it is. Yeah. But I wasn't the guy who killed him. I didn't shoot him. אבל אני לא הרגתיו, but I didn't do that. Only in that case you can take his testimony. Then תינשא אשתו. Then the wife is allowed to go out into the market. מותרת היא על פי עדותו להינשא. She is allowed, according to his witness, to get married. Beram, but this is according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. The Chachamim are going to come in, and he says, Rabbi Yehuda, you're wrong. Still wrong. He says, we're going to accept his testimony. He says, why? He says, you cannot testify on yourself. There's a rule in Judaism. You can never, you're too close. It's like testifying on a brother. Testify. You cannot say, I killed somebody and be believed. You can't do that. A person, and the Torah gives reason. He says there are people who says they killed somebody because they're crazy. There's people because they want to be famous, because they want people to be scared of them, because they want people, some because they want to commit suicide, and they call to kill them and don't have the courage.
They go against themselves, like in a way.
People cannot be a witness against themselves. That's a rule. That's a rule. You can never testify against yourself in Jewish court, just like you cannot testify for your son, for example. If you, in other words, the kal v'chomer, if for your son you're allowed to testify, how much more so for yourself you can testify. So there's a rule. So the Rabbi says now, look at what the Rabbi says. It's a din in courts, it's called plagta milta. It says, we're going to think he's a liar in one aspect, we're not going to think he's speaking the truth in another aspect. It's very interesting. Beram, ha'halacha hi, the law is, she'en adam masim atzmo rasha. A person cannot testify against himself, like I explained. Why? Lefi she'adam karov etzel atzmo. Because you're a family member. you're not a trustworthy witness. Umikan, so the rabbis, not Rabbi Yehuda, the ones who go against Rabbi Yehuda, the sage says, Mi she'amar haragtiv, somebody who said, I killed him, mefalgim eduto. We're going to believe him in one aspect, we're going not to believe him in another aspect. What does it mean? We're going to take a testimony that we cannot take a testimony that is evil. Why? Because he doesn't have the power to make himself evil. But we can take the testimony that he's dead. That we can. That we can take. So that they're going to do half and half. שאומנם אינו נאמן על מה שאמר שהוא הרגו. So we're not going to trust, in other words, we believe you that he's dead, but your witnesses that you did it, we cannot take. It doesn't matter even if we believe you. It's a technicality. We cannot accept it into the court cases. We cannot write it into the court. אבל נאמנה לנו עדתנו שנהרג, but we still believe you that the guy is croaked, he's done, he's dead. הילקח אפילו אמר הרגתיו, therefore, even if the guy says, I killed him, תינשא אשתו, the wife is allowed to get married, but not to you. But not to you. Okay. Because again, why not to you? People will talk. Again, that's the problem. Rumors. And we'll stop over here.